All right, here we are getting ready for round three of our Shadows over Innistrad Mega Draft. The winner here wins the league. And we got two heavy hitters between Damian S. Buttcrack Magic and Richard K. Preacher. Uh, Chris,
Yeah,
this is
this is a
exciting.
fight as old as time, right? All the way back to the store days. It's a return to the classics, right? We have Damien. He's got his 8 league top eights, but as I said it before, he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride
Yep.
for his Crimson Vow wedding. So this might be the first league where he breaks through. On the other hand, we have Koffler. Koffler famously won the double sized league, double stuff league for Eldraine. He wins short leagues, as he says. So two titans of the format off against each other in the Shadows remastered finals. Couldn't be happier for both of them.
And Damien's got a nice hand over here. He's got a defensive straight for removal. He's got that Lumber Knot we saw in the last game, and he's got a Toxic Scorpion sitting there if he wants it.
Mm-hmm. On Koffler's side, we have what we call a mana deficiency.
Oh, no.
So he's stuck on two. The only thing he can play with his 2 mana are a Champion of the Perished and a Vampire Interloper. It's not a great start against Damien's deck that is famous for, ramping out and having big sick plays. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to come back from this start.
I mean, this might be the classic, though, Screw versus Flood, because Damien's sitting on, after he gets the Lumber Knot out, he just has defensive straight and 2 lands. So he doesn't have too much going on other than a removal spell for the first big threat Richard plays. And I don't know if he wants to fire it off on any of these.
Yeah, I mean, but on Koffler's side, I mean, it's not looking good. A third land opens up the Fell Stinger, opens up Ingenious Scab, Falcon Abomination, and Thirst for Discovery. Gets that third land, he's back in it, he's looking fine, but really needs the deck to cooperate with this particular draw coming up.
Damien's going to play the Scavenger that he drew for the turn, really attacking Richard's life total here as quickly as he can.
Another whiff on
Oof.
Koffler's side of the board. This is gonna feel bad.
Yeah, this attack from
To make it
Damien's
all the way
gonna
to
be
the finals
big.
and then to have variance kind of mess up your run.
It happens. It happens to all of us, though. That's part of the game,
It
right?
does.
And it's only one game out
It
of three.
does.
It's why we do best of three, right? Because this
That is
ain't your
correct.
best. This ain't your best. I want to see better.
Well, gosh,
Damien's
it's
just
hard to come. I mean, Vampire Interloper doing nothing here. It really needs this draw to do something, something big. But even then, right?
Yeah, Damien's got removal, so if he plays a blocker, it's dead. He needs to really. The best he could do
Yeah.
is maybe take care of the Lumber Knot, and then he's going to one, and that
Yeah,
doesn't
this
sound
is not.
great.
Nope. And there's no removal that's going to work here. He did draw his third land finally, but there's no removal for anything. It's over.
Yeah. All right, a quick first one then. Sometimes you got lands and sometimes you don't, and what can you do?
Boy, we definitely saw the second case there instead of the first.
I'm
It
curious.
was pretty dry.
Because I caught a little bit of the last of Richard's games, and he had white mana. What was that white mana in his deck for?
He just sped off the sideboard so quickly I didn't get a chance to see.
Oh wow.
He's
Oh,
already
wow.
he's already locked his deck in. He
Damien's-
might be a little bit heated from that first game. Hard to say.
Damien he's making some choices here. He quickly put 2 cards in.
Yeah.
It looks like a crushing. He's looking at crushing canopy in the sideboard. Does he care about this flying creature? Are there artifacts and enchantments? He's taking some time here with the sideboarding. Unnatural growth
Yeah.
still in the deck.
I wonder. I mean, I haven't seen a game with Damien where the unnatural growth has made the difference. But I guess maybe just having it there, it's like it's his emblem card.
It's a
right?
security blanket. It makes him feel safe.
It's his spirit animal.
Yeah, makes him feel at home.
Exactly.
He's got a little
Yeah.
jank in there, and it's in the tank, as
Yeah,
somebody's name on the
indeed.
server is.
Yes.
So he's making just some small cuts here. He's got a nice little removal suite. He's trying to figure out what doesn't he need. He's taking out some 2 and 3 drop creatures. Takes out the Scorpion.
I mean, you can kind of see why Richard doesn't sideboard because he didn't learn a whole lot from that first game, and it's not like he really got a chance to see how his deck interacted with that deck
That's
either.
true.
So Not many choices to make, frankly.
He knows Damien's playing creatures, and those creatures will attack for damage.
Yeah. So this time, much better opener for Koffler. Got 4 lands, but he throws it back
Wow,
for 3.
Damien had 0 lands and threw it back. Now he's looking at 5 and 2 4-drops. So a slower hand for
Wow.
Damien.
On Koffler's side, he has an Ingenious Scab, Desperate Farmer, and an Organ Hoarder. All that's going to curve out very nicely for him, which means that if Damien's got a sort of more laid-back late game going on here, Koffler might just run it up while Damien waits for his cards to arrive.
Yeah, Damien is just drawing land after land. Still just has the Lumberknot and the Rejuvenator in hand, and then 4 forests.
Here goes, and he's looking possibly to curve into a Voldaren Pariah next turn,
Oof. And
or
gets
a
creature
Murder
in
of
the
Crows,
graveyard.
or a Murder of Crows.
Now, Damien in his ramp deck is just going to have all these cards that tap for mana. He drew a Somber White Sage for the turn, but the 2/4 is going to stop the Organ Hoarder here.
Well, let's see if he wants to trade up the Scab for that, right? Let's. He might want to do this, depending.
He might, but he has the Lumberknot in hand, which basically makes the Rejuvenator a 4/4.
I like this play. So basically, Koffler now can get both of his creatures past the Rejuvenator, or at least trade for the Rejuvenator, right?
Yeah.
So it's gets them straight past. That's a great way to push damage. And so for his next play, okay, he's forced to pump the Scab here, which reduces the amount of plays he can make to Ingenious Scab or Desperate Farmer.
Yeah, I don't think Damien was happy with that block.
Okay, so this is not what you want to see in the finals of the Mega Draft, right? 2 kind of non-games, but maybe that's what we're going to get here.
Yeah, Damien's still sitting on 3 forests and a 3-mana 1/1, I think, that taps for mana.
Okay, Damien is his meme game is tight here.
Yep.
Obviously, I think that he's got a block here. Forces Koffler to pump and trade. One more pump for the road, sure.
Yeah, Damien's really in a lot of trouble. I don't know what he could draw to get him back.
Farmer
in this.
flips makes it even worse for Damien.
It's
I mean,
another-
that's 10 on board.
Another swamp in the concession.
Okay,
Just flooding.
so let's have a real game, huh? In game 3, because boy, that was just brutal both ways. So one game was Koffler down to Screw. Next game was Damien down to Flood.
Can you see what that white card is now that we're in sideboarding again, or is Koffler?
Yeah, it's Edgar Charmed Groom.
Yeah, Edgar, very powerful card.
Koffler notably not really looking, I don't think, to swap much here still. Nope, hitting done almost immediately again.
You know, Damien,
So-
he is taking some time. He took out the Crushing Canopy that he put in a creature with reach.
So this might be the quickest finals of all time, depending on how this game 3 goes.
You know, but let's see a nice game here. Damien's
Yeah.
looking at 4 lands. You know,
Yep.
not terrible.
We got lands and spells over here too, so for the first time, I guess we're keeping our opening hands, and let's see what these decks can do.
So Damien's looking at Ghoulcaller's Apprentice, which is coming down. Then he's got that Somberwald Sage from last game that he never cast, and Imprisoned in the Moon, but no blue mana to cast it with yet.
Over here, we got Fading Hope, Cradle of Safety, Board Malevolence, Rotten Reunion, and a Fell Stinger, and a third land. So nothing really game-breaking over here, but certainly a lot of solid spells that's going to keep the action coming.
Damien's deck is doing what he wants it to do, which is playing creatures that tap for mana. So he just needs to find some of his top end, because he's got this Reaver of Blossoms, and then the Somberwild Sage. You know, he's unlocked his blue mana with this creature that can tap for any color.
Koffler contemplating a Fading Hope here. That's interesting. I guess the scry is important to him.
Yeah.
He wants to keep Damien off of the big mana, but I don't see any play here.
Does he have more lands? Is he looking for something in particular, you think?
Uh, there's nothing that costs 4, so in the end, he's going to keep a Nebelgast Herald on the top of the deck. Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so he wants to.
He's controlling, I guess, any potential recursion on Damien's side of the board. Right?
Oh, did that come in from the sideboard? I would imagine so.
I don't know. I don't think so. Again, on the first sideboarding, I didn't see very much at all. I didn't see any exchange on the second one either. So maybe it's a main boarded reunion. I mean, it's a flashback hoser, right? There's enough graveyard interaction in this spooky Halloween themed set. So maybe it just works like that. Here's a good play. So this Decayed token, completely useless on this board. Fellstinger coming in, get a couple cards. Last time Fellstinger sacrificed itself, so it shows that Koffler doesn't really value it necessarily as a creature, but on this board against the Weaver of Blossoms, you nice to have a Death Toucher.
Damien is
Weird one.
Yeah, he's fizzling a bit. His just got the Imprisoned in the Moon in hand and 2 swamps.
Oh no.
So his hand is getting a little slow, and I mean he has all the mana that I think he could need anyway, even without the Somberwald Sage.
Yeah.
But he needs something.
Koffler has his planes, but not his Sorin. Sorry, not his Sorin, but his
Edgar.
Help me out here, Edgar Markov. So he's got half the equation. The wrong half, probably, from his perspective. Okay. Koffler keeping the graveyard nice and clean. And he has Nebelgast Herald mana up. Now,
Yeah, Damien's he's gonna fire off his last actual card in hand, Imprisoned in the Moon. Just 2 swamps and a forest.
It will not hit. It will not hit. Cradle of Safety saves the stinger.
That's a big sad face for Damien's side.
Yep. And Koffler's just going for card advantage now. He's sifting through his hand. He's going to check out an island here, probably. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be real hard for Damien to try to keep up with all these cards.
Yeah. Cards. What are those, right? Damien's probably asking.
Yeah.
So Golgari is good for putting out big butts. Not necessarily the color combination that draws you out of a situation like this.
Yeah. Evolving Wilds, the draw. So just more lands for Damien.
Okay, and Koffler draws a Grizzly Ritual, which is a great way to kill big creatures and also push damage at the same time. But he doesn't need to because Nebelgast Herald is here. Importantly, Koffler's also got an Essence Flux in hand, so even if Damien gets removal, it's going to be protected on this side of the board. So it's looking like it's a foregone conclusion unless Damien's able to come up with some sort of board wipe or something similar to try to level out this playing field, which is ridiculously on Koffler's side here.
Yeah. Even if he does, though, I mean, if Koffler's got protection and board wipes, he taps out.
So last 2 cards in hand are the Essence Flux and the Grizzly Ritual. So that's
my God, it's another land for Damien.
Congrats, Koffler.
Wow.